We thought it'd be really funny to run our fog machine. To run our fog machine and do a thing to tell you guys that we're doing episodes on Wednesday now, but then the fog machine set off the fire thing. So, yeah, episodes on Wednesday. Enjoy Cream Crew.
God!
Hello, Tom.
Hey, John. Hey, boys. How's it going? How's it going?
I'm gonna suffocate you guys.
I'm fine with it. I grew up as a carny.
Did your parents ever have a business in the carnival?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
How so?
They owned a bunch of fucking bouncy castles and inflatable slides.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
All sorts of fucking nonsense. So I grew up with the Jippos and the toothless kids and
The
generator
Jippos.
smoke. The Jippos.
The Jippos. Is that something that we?
It's fine. Don's 0.5% Romani.
That's right. Yeah.
Can I use the G word?
I don't think it's really even if Don cares. I think it's just if our Lord and Savior Susan Wojcicki says it's okay.
Hunter's own brand of accidental racism.
Yeah. I think Welcome to the Cream Crew podcast. I'm Meat Ken, and that's Flash Gets. Welcome. We've had a interesting time.
We are two separate people.
Yeah.
Flash gets Tom. Flash gets done. Continue.
Derailed what we were doing there, but been an interesting time here in Texas, boys.
Yeah, I'm glad the blizzard's over. Though it's reflects from
For now.
I put that I'm glad this happened. This was all about me and you thing out in the universe.
That was so funny. I was watching it back.
Unfortunate poetic justice.
You kept being
I'd say, you know.
Tom is really suffering. The next day.
I got what was coming to
flooded.
me. Yeah. Why didn't you post that video
What video?
that you took in the house?
Because that was
Incriminating evidence.
No, that's for the Cream Crew vlogs.
Your house was a fucking... I mean, when you guys see it, you'll be surprised. I mean, the whole time I was trying to keep peace while Don was here at the house. He was freaking out. Paranoia was high. And I was like, dude, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine doing that. And of course, he was assuming the worst. And of course, as fate would have it, the worst did happen. But I don't think... Well, I guess it's the worst did happen, but maybe not to the extreme that we thought it was.
Well, here's the question. If God or the AI overlord you're obsessed with put you guys in the same room
Yeah, that was a big...
to make you best friends, how did it go? Are you best friends now?
Well, I was arrogant, like I'm saying.
My hubris was the end of it.
Yeah, he's like, well, you know, I was peeling back the curtain a little too much. He's like, all right, I gotta, whoever's up there injected some chaos.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta be humbled a little
He's
bit.
like, no, yeah, you're not. I mean, you are a god, but you're not, you know, so.
you are a Christ-like figure, but no. Yeah, it was good. I mean, like, all in all, it was fine. All in all, it was good.
What rave reviews?
The only thing though that was different was that I was feeling the deal of I haven't lived with people in a long time, so like people that saw my wife, so I was feeling the tension of just like being around other couples and stuff. You know what I mean? It felt like college again or something. There was that itch of being like, want to just barricade yourself in your room and just be like, I'm alone again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that communal space.
But you know what
That's
I
what I'm
found
saying.
interesting about your simulation theory thing is it means if like anyone at a certain level turns off the computer, all the rest as a cascading dominoes are gone.
Yep,
that's right.
Well, but I mean, it's like a video game. You just pick it. Like we're just paused. We could have just been paused a second ago.
Yeah, well, sometimes computers lose power, right?
Well, yeah. So you just go back to the save point and.
Right, I see.
Yeah, and it's
Shaking
all
your head,
the same to us. We're just electrons. NPCs don't know when you turn the game
Hunter's
off.
like anything beyond just like base level.
You get mad.
You.
You get mad when we talk about shop, and you guys are sitting here talking as if people give a fuck what we have to say about philosophical shit.
It's about
whenever we talk. Whenever me and Don talk about stuff that's applicable.
Honestly, as much as I love shop talk, I think that there's probably more universal interest in the concept that you and I are literal like gods or more important people.
Don, where did this come from? I always knew you were obsessed with simulation theory, but you never had this like godlike complex added in. This is fresh.
Oh, 100%.
Like where did this come from?
The whole time, I think I'm better than everyone else.
I believe that, but it was another part of your simulation.
I don't
theory.
believe any of this. I hate that I'm even a part of this right now because I don't. This is.
Dude, you can run from it. You are anointed.
No. I'm not saying that I believe in simulation theory because
I'm saying that I don't believe myself to be greater than the fucking common man.
No, I believe that Don believes that.
Yeah. No, and I'm saying I want to disassociate myself with that man.
I mean, you are better than the common man, though.
No.
You are, though.
No.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, sir. No, I have lived amongst the common men. I have
common
been.
men? You're looking at gods!
I have lived amongst a common man. I have.
So have I, and I'm better.
No,
than
you
them.
haven't.
Yes, I have.
How?
I'm a fucking jippo. I just said so.
Yeah, I was a jippo when I was 12, and then like you were 18 and immediately became like a YouTube. That became your job.
That was not a job.
Well, exactly. That's not random.
That's because we're better. Hey, from cradle to YouTube, I was amongst the common man, and now I am some sort of demigod, Uber Chad.
Hey, leave a comment down below what you guys think of this stuff. How you're liking this. Yeah. I'm sure people are going to have a bigger interest instead of shop talk talking about how much better we are than them. That's going to be a fun
All of our fans
point.
are like sub demigods.
So you're perhaps even more powerful than us because you're building this bulwark of I'm just like you.
Yeah, I'm like the.
Hunter is so
I'm like
just
I'm like
so
the.
down
I'm like
to
the.
earth.
I'm like
I
the
just want to
six-
get a beer with Hunter.
People want to. People want to. I've seen that a lot, and you know what? I would be. You see how sociable. You see how sociable I am. I would love to.
Just connivingly.
You have a yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm a common man. This is why I should be your favorite member.
That's exactly it. It's all a ruse.
Little wink.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mine and Don's only sin is being too fucking truthful with the people. We tell it how it is, and
Delusional. Being too delusional with the people is what you mean.
We're too genuine, and that's the problem.
I see.
That is the problem.
I just feel like it was weird though. Last week, it really did feel like that whole week just felt like time stopped for a little bit. Like it fucked up. Like I said before, I got my tune to get pushed back. So then it just kind of felt like even work was like at a halt, and it just literally felt like days. Like
nothing done at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
We put a whiteboard up.
That's true. We have a writer's room now.
It was pretty funny. I was like listing my ideas and stuff. I have some ideas on the whiteboard and stuff. And then Tom got up. Well, the first thing he put on this note was just "Hunter's gay, lol." And then he erased that, and then he like was staring at the whiteboard for a second, and then he just wrote nothing. Literally wrote the word nothing under his idea.
You gotta get it out onto the page. That's what they always say.
Nothing. Okay. Now we build.
Now you go up.
I'm glad you came in yesterday and held down the fort for flash gets while my house is flooded.
Oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
Woe is me, Don.
Woe is me.
Oh, my house flooded.
Who cares? Mine did too.
You both have lovely homes. Whenever I'm able to rent a house in maybe 3 or 4 years, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, if you can ever get one.
Yeah, I just don't want to live in an apartment again. I kind of want to have the yard for the dogs and stuff.
Yeah, I can't imagine living in an apartment beyond like being in your 20s. Just at that point, it seems like
I don't really mind. I mean, like the apartment I had in Portland was fine. It's just literally like if I didn't have dogs, it'd be fine. Like I could whatever.
It's just
but it's just
too many people about
with what I do. Well, I don't even mind that. I could, I don't care. But I've never had a problem with like people being loud, except the Utah one. But the guy got kicked out of the apartment complex. So
what was he doing? That was so loud.
We were just like he would play music, but that was the thing. But it was like he was like stomping around. And I remember there was times where I'd go up and I'd knock on his door and be like, "Dude," I'm like, "It's 2 a.m. What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just getting ready for bed." And I'm like, okay. But then like, when you're in college, it's just in the price range you have to be in like really shitty apartments. So then you just have to realize it's like, well, this is just as good as it gets. Like,
what was this guy like? Is he an old guy, young guy? Like
he was like maybe mid-30s. He was just kind of like, I think he had this big, I think he was like a part of a like construction thing or something. But yeah, apparently a bunch of people complained about him, and he when he left, he like threw shit out of he like made a big mess and like was throwing a fit about it, like just a little baby. But then a new guy moved in and he was cool. So there was in college though, my girlfriend, now wife, she lived in like this really shitty apartment complex, but the people above them would have sex every night at the same time, and it was so funny.
But it
wasn't it wasn't eccentric like oh god. It was just more like you would hear their bed, like them get on their bed, like and then it would just be really slow. And then when he was like probably finishing, it was like and then you'd hear a guy be like, "Duh!" And then sometimes you had to kind of wait because sometimes he might be done then, but if not, you would hear like switching positions.
Go!
But it was pretty funny.
That's funny. He puts like a full stop on the end of each position.
Yeah, I love it. And it's like period.
Yeah.
Lick the finger, turn the page.
That's a man who's not in a rush. Good for him.
Now a new tale. Chapter 2. Missionary. God's position.
Yeah, that's funny.
Have you guys ever lived in like a shitty apartment?
Tom has.
Oh yeah, I lived in like an Anne Frank box basically.
I thought that you lived in like a pretty sick apartment though at one time.
Oh, that was eventually I moved to like a way cooler apartment with like a ocean view and shit. But
I think I remember that you sit there in one of the show quests. You're like walking near a beach or something.
Yeah. That was them. But before that, I was in this like fucking hovel. It was probably like the whole place wasn't. It was probably about this room and the bathroom, and that was like the whole place.
Was it close to the city? Is that why it was so shitty? Or
I guess like the whole of so it was in Portsmouth, and Portsmouth in England, it's like a concrete jungle. Like the whole place is just a giant city in a way. So,
but the buildings are short. It's weird. So it's like just like labyrinth walls of apartments, but they're
it's
only
very
like 2
poor
stories
English.
tall. It's very, very weird.
Yeah, there's no like high rise. it's not America.
Not even
London.
high rise, but I would say like a standard thing is like at least like for an apartment complex, maybe a minimum of like 4 floors.
It wasn't an apartment
In America. I mean.
It wasn't an apartment. It was like a semi-detached.
Oh, I thought it was like smashed. It was like the leftover space from the surrounding buildings. They put your apartment in. You had to go up that narrow.
I mean, more or less, yeah. But like in England, you have these rows and rows of houses that have no gaps between them. They're just like they share a wall, and it's like. So
I remember. Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah,
it was basically one of those. But I got the job done. Did what I needed to do. Everything was there. Yeah. What more do you want? 250 quid a month. Pretty cheap.
That's what ruined England for me. I'm warming to the idea of returning, but when I stayed with
your one experience putting you off the whole country is the dumbest shit.
Just freezing cold in his kitchen, which was also like 80% of the house, and then under a like a little skylight thing, and it would just pitter patter every single night.
Oh no!
I feel like you probably just don't like major cities then.
It wasn't. It wasn't really about that.
But yeah, but that's the thing.
I just mean the space and stuff though, like. Right. Being in like New York and Bushwick, Brooklyn, it reminds me of like what you're saying of like it's like there's no even the landlords, like it's just like there's the population so high and stuff that there's no regulation really. So like when I lived in Bushwick, staying on my buddy's couch, like it wasn't like super small, but like it was definitely small and like fire hazards. Like even like I remember my fat ass trying to squeeze into their bathroom because it was like they put up a wall. Because beforehand, I think there was no wall to the bathroom, so it was just literally kitchen, and then it would go into a bathroom, so there'd be a bathtub. But they put up a small wall, but like I'm not even joking. I mean, like that motherfucker was like that wide, the wall, and then the edge of the. So you had to squeeze through. You take a shower, and you dry there and stuff, and then your like wet ass body you have to squeeze out, and the door also you had to sit at an angle when you took a shit because your knees would go out into the kitchen.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Don, I just don't think you like city kind of stuff, and then you describe this hellscape housing situation.
Well, that's what I mean, but that's what it is, though.
I'm a fucking baby too. Like I'm the first to admit it. I've never had to live in a place like that.
Yeah,
and that's a big thing with that is like people that want to like, and everybody who I've ever met that likes living those city things, they don't care. Like the living situation, they don't care about. Like they're like, I don't like my buddy. I think I might have told you this before. He was like, "Oh, I got this great deal. It was like $1,800 a month." And I was like, "Oh, nice. You should let me go over." And he like showed me the apartment. I was like, "Holy shit!" And then I was like, "This place is really nice." And then it turns out that he's renting a room. So then he's living with 5 other strangers, and they have their own. So it's like you're renting a room.
$1,800. Yeah.
New
And he was
York?
like, "It's a steal." Yeah, in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Fucking
And I was
God.
like, "Oh my god!" But to them, it's never about. He's like, "I sleep here. Like, I don't care." And then he like goes out, and it's like it's close to like this, and it's like more about the city itself. And I feel like that's kind of like what, in my opinion, like those high population places, that's what it's all about. Like when people, even here in Texas, if you live, in a house inside of like, a close vicinity of like a city, the house is going to be kind of shitty, but it isn't about the house. It's just like about being near all the cool shit or something.
Yeah. Not a city guy. Too many people.
I when you're younger, I think it's definitely way more appealing just because you're going out. But like, I'm married now. You're married now.
Well, there is the hiccup, sir. Not leaving the house, no, sir. So all of the downsides, none of the upsides.
Yeah, really, really, just the number of experiences you've had just make me feel like such a just calcified baby person. It's just
You are a calcified baby person.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. That's just the.
It's not exactly a good term, is it?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you
no,
are a
well-
disgusting grub. It's not a bad thing.
Well, no, I mean, I'm a disgusting piece of shit too. I think it's just whatever opportunities you have, and like what you decide to do, what chances you decide to take. Then again, you guys at a very young age had an awesome opportunity, and you guys have been building that.
Yeah, but
I'm not a calcified baby person.
I mean,
Don't let me in.
more so than Hunter though. I was literally like, I think I was brushing my teeth last night, and I literally had the thought, how can I contrive being more worldly? Like, what can I do to give me the same benefits of like going through all this hardship that I just never had to endure?
Well, I think I mean, I don't know. I have no answer for that.
Well, your house flooded. So.
Yeah, it's something. It's one knobs on the belt. Yeah, that wasn't fun.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you guys had just a very awesome opportunity at a young age. I just didn't want to stay in my hometown, and then that just led into this fucking cryptic adventure.
I think more of what it is for you is no caution, like not even a bit. You're just like, well, the gut says so off we go.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially at a young age, when I have $200 in my bank account, what can I lose? The biggest thing I can lose is I go there, I fail, I come back, and I'm right back where I am at this starting position. So like there was that point as well, and like even when you go places and then I did fail, instead of being like I'm going to go back, it was how do I position? Like I just want to do something else, and then woke up with L.A. when I fucked up there. I moved to Utah and stuff, and then that led to an opportunity for me to go to New York and stuff. But I think it was never like a victory of being like now we're secure. It was always just like all right, surviving.
So that's interesting to me. You're saying like the less money and kind of security you had, the less you had to lose. Therefore, like in a weird paradoxical way, no risk. So would you say now that you do have more risk because you have actually stuff to lose?
Well, absolutely. I mean, like back then, I mean, I have a wife now. Like I was dating her, and like with me and my wife, or at the time girlfriend, it was I'm gonna go do this stuff. We're gonna be dating long distance and everything. And like I had I had a car that my family helped me buy and stuff. So it was like I was paying my grandma back from the loan that she took out to help me get my car.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was like really the only thing that I had to do to like help pay that off and do all those kind of things. But until then, it was like when you signed a lease on a rental thing, that's all I had. Now it's like I have more possessions. I have like I'm like trying to establish like buying a house and stuff. But I think absolutely when you're younger, I don't think that I did put myself in a lot of very horrible situations that inevitably worked out for me. I think, but it was because I was willing to be like, no, I'm gonna go do this, and like living in Carlsbad and driving up to LA, and then that fucked up, and I was homeless, and I moved back to Kansas City, and then I moved back to LA, and I was living there, and then I went broke again, and I had to move, but because of that, I was able to meet like all of these people and stuff, and I think it's just like I don't know, you just have to take your losses with it really is a learning experience, and at the end of the day, a loss that it to me was. I have no money again. That's fine. I never had any money.
Yeah.
And it becomes a thing. Versus like when you're established and you have a family and stuff, and then you're going bankrupt. That's probably way more devastating. But yeah, definitely when you're young, I think I always tell people take risks on something that you want to do. Don't just be like, oh,
Not take a risk.
Yeah, just being like, oh, like I've liked this thing for 5 seconds. Like people that are like, oh, I really got into like e-boy rap, and now I want to be an e-boy rapper, and you've liked it for a year, whatever. You've looked back on my kindergarten notes and stuff. It's like, what do you want to be? And it's like cartoonist and stuff. This is what I've always known I wanted to do, and that's always been like, I just don't know what I mean, if I didn't do anything else, I would be doing what I was doing out there, which is like miscellaneous jobs, construction, doing whatever just to like pay my bills. Because at the end of the day, I don't feel like, you know, going to school to be like, oh, business, blah, blah, blah. So I can be that was never my trajectory of like, I could give a fuck. Because especially living in Kansas City, it's like, you get a job, you just stay there. And it's like, you just gradually climb up, you get a little bit more of a raise, you have your benefits, and that's it, or whatever. It's never like, I'm going to be CEO of this or that. Like I just had no interest. And if anything, it's just working for the weekend type deal. So then my whole thing was, when I see my dad waking up at like 4 a.m. every day, he's a miserable cunt doing his thing. I don't want to do that. I'd rather go and try to do the thing that I've wanted to do. And what is that even? Because then when you're younger, it's all about, oh, I want to work at a studio. I want to work at this type of thing. But then when I got there, it just wasn't, I was like, I don't want to work on other people's ideas. I want to do my own stuff. So then it was like pivot to that. And it's just surviving and doing this kind of things. And inevitably, lucky enough, you know, the fucking planets aligned for me in a weird way, and I was given my opportunity, and now I feel like I just know how valuable that opportunity is because of those experiences in the past. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you don't go through those kind of hardships, you look at those kind of things as still that's just a fluke, or it's like, oh, it's a one-time thing, versus like when I got my thing, even like when my video hit like 50,000 views, I was like, what am I going to do? Like, how do I capitalize on this? How do I keep going? And it's like, you see the opportunities there, but I think it's through that kind of hardship and that kind of things that you go through. Not to say, you know, people obviously have had harder times, but I just mean like what I've been through myself, and the fucking like nights where you're just like, oh, what am I doing with my life? You know? What am I doing? So then when people are like, oh, you make cartoons and stuff, I'm like, you're fucking damn right I do. It's awesome. Like it's great. I'm glad I can pay my bills and off of that alone, because there was a time when I was working pouring concrete with dudes that don't speak English, like Mexicans down in Carlsbad.
That must have been very, very difficult.
Well, it's
the
like
Mexican part specifically.
Well, it wasn't even that, because they were awesome. They were all really cool dudes. But I mean, like, then after I did that, I would go to Walmart at the photo center, and I'd be working there.
Oh, that sucks.
So then, if anything, but then I was stoked then, because you're like, oh, I'm like able to get gas money to drive up, and I can message people on Instagram and be like, hey, you want to grab a drink at the Woods in LA? And then go up there, and they're like, yeah, we'll see what I can do. And there's like that chase I kind of miss in a weird way, in a very sick way. Like, you're talking about survival, like you feel like you're like getting something that you really wanted. Like, that's the kind of survival that I miss a lot. That I feel like I'm going through a lot. You know, like whenever you do get a dream, it's all about protecting it and like, you know, keeping it safe, and like you're wanting to explore and expand and become. You're not just happy with one little thing. It becomes, you know, the grass is always greener, but it becomes more of like, how do I take this thing that I love and safeguard it even more while expanding it. So it's like you safeguard until you feel like you're secure.
There's some like funny, just people are so fucking like complicated as animals. There's just like funny things you never think about or consider that can like change things drastically for you. Like, for the longest time, I've said it on the podcast and we discussed it, you know, a million times, like sometimes I feel like it's just like making cartoons, whatever, is so fucking meaningless. Like, we're just handing out candy to people. Right. Like, every so often we're like, here's more candy, eat it, yummy, come back, we'll give you more candy, whatever. But it always kind of bothers me that like it feels like not doing anything like worth a fuck, not changing anything really. But then and that extends to like enjoying things too. So I'm watching like a cartoon I like, whatever, like South Park. I'm like, this is cool, but it's nothing. It's like empty calories, valueless. I was talking to my I pay a guy to like teach me how to draw, but he's also like, he's like half drawing guy, half fucking therapist. And I was just talking to him about that, just like, yeah, just like, I'm not excited about any stuff. I don't really care.
Did you backdoor yourself into therapy?
I think I might have.
That's hilarious.
But he was like, he's a cool guy. He's like, in his own way, he's kind of like a man's man or whatever. But he was like, Tom, bro, you just gotta like allow yourself to be human. He was like, you gotta accept as like a monkey that certain things are gonna like excite your brain, and you can just be okay with that. And I was like, I can be human. It was a real pivotal learning moment for me. I discovered I can be human and like Lord of the Rings, and that's okay. So.
Yeah, and like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
right.
Just a go-to example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Humans they're just weird, man.
You guys are talking about designing your studio rooms. Why don't you brighten our lives up with that bullshit?
Well, when you frame it like that,
kind of a hostile response. I'll be honest, a little hostile.
You kind of say.
I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
Okay. Okay.
What'd you settle on?
Nothing yet.
Oh, so you're not just painting it green?
Green?
Yeah, you said you're gonna do
yeah.
green screen.
My plan for my office is to chroma key the whole fucking thing. I'm gonna paint it green, and I'm gonna wear a green morph suit so I can hide anywhere when one of you assholes try and disturb me and fucking guillotine you out.
I wish I'd bring a baseball bat in there and just start swinging until I hit something.
See what connects.
Until I just hear a... They'll be like, I'm gonna need you for shooting something downstairs. Let's go! Yeah.
Just fucking crawl out.
I think we should paint the whole house, just all the walls, and just make it crazy.
Just get crazy with it.
Let's go crazy. And then when we blink and fucking wake up from this fever dream of an experience, we'll be like, oh fuck, now we have to repaint the whole house. Have to paint it back.
I was thinking about painting my ceiling black. But I'm going back and forth about it.
Stare into the fucking void.
Exactly.
I think you should do it because it's funny.
But I keep reading that psychologically it shrinks the space, and I can't decide if I want that. If I want my world like closing in on me,
collapsing in on you.
Yeah.
You just can't enter the room without panicking.
Walk into a room.
Don't know. It's like you've not been getting as much done recently.
Or maybe I'll get more done because I want to escape, enter this oppressive environment.
That's pretty smart. Dude, I've been giving you an oppressive environment for many, many years. So I feel like you would know by now,
I think I've been looking at draftsman tables too. It'd be cool to get a draftsman table.
Nice little illustrator table type deal. It'd be fun.
Well, I'm so broken I can't draw on a table anymore.
Really?
Yeah, my neck starts to hurt. After 15, 20 minutes, yeah.
What do you want to do, like physical drawing wise? What do you want to draw?
Just from time to time, I like to use a sketchbook. I mean, it's definitely unnecessary.
If I paid you, would you draw me on a physical paper with like microns or whatever, like thick brushes?
Yeah,
like whatever.
You can give it a shot.
Like no, like a really lewd drawing.
Yeah, I would do that.
Would you?
Well, it depends on what.
Well, yeah, what do you want?
What do you mean of what? Is there something you not draw?
Well, I'm bracing right now. I just want to know. What do you have in mind?
What if it was like...
Well, is it me for starters?
No.
Okay.
No. Like let's say it was.
You let out audible like. Oh, you're like. Oh.
Thank God. Okay. Well, now we're in business.
Wait. Is it Tom?
Well, now you kind of make me want to do that. Like if I could get a video game character like you fucking a video game character, would you do that?
Don fucking Chun-Li.
How much should you pay me?
Yeah,
dude,
we can negotiate prices.
If it was you fucking like a man Street Fighter.
No, I'd have like, I don't know, like if like Sly Cooper was behind you and it was like you spread, like your legs are spread and your dick is like hard and pointing forward, and then Sly Cooper was like entering you from behind.
I think I would feel dirty. That's essentially prostitution.
I would feel dirty.
Essentially prostitution. You're paying me to
basically
violate myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we could do that, or I just mean like in general.
That's a real power move. It's like
you enticed it by being like, "Is it of me?" And then that kind of.
I want to hear the original genesis of this idea.
I think it'd be really funny if one of my friends that knows art actually drew like a super lewd thing that I could frame and put up, just because I think it'd be funny of characters that like I don't really like. I know, but I don't really care about. Okay. So like Sly Cooper on the PS2. I remember when I was younger, I played that game, so that was the first thing that came to mind.
You could be fucking like Blinks the cat.
No, but it would be two separate franchises. Like I wouldn't want it to make sense.
Blinks is another franchise.
That was like a
was it? Oh, I don't even know what that is.
It was like their answer to Sly Cooper. It was like a cat that could do time travel or something. I can't remember. Maybe
like Sly Cooper and maybe like it's hard because if you really all these things are shrouded with like I guess cringy. You can't do like Master Chief because it's just like so it's like what's a funny property that you could do. I just don't know Blink, so I just don't. I would want to at least know what it is.
What about that Gecko game for the PS1?
Gex.
Yeah, Gex the Gecko.
Could do Gex.
Well, at what point in the spectrum of famous and not famous are you really trying to land on?
Well, I think it's just whenever you hear it, you're like there it is. So like Sly Cooper to me is just like it's famous enough, but also to me it's funny. Like there's no business. There's no reason why there should be like an underground lewd fan base of Sly Cooper. Maybe Sly Cooper and like Tony Stark, like Iron Man, or like I don't know, like
I feel like that would taint it.
Yeah,
Iron Man.
But I mean, like I wonder if you could branch out besides video games and do something like that.
There's a balance.
Joe Biden,
No,
Sly Cooper and Joe Biden.
I thought we were going for like kind of cringe.
What if it was?
No,
what if it was
there's a real like soft touch.
What if it's Bob's wife from Bob's Burgers? Sly Cooper's fucking Linda from Bob's Burgers.
That might be the ticket, dude.
That's pretty good.
Let me know.
I don't even know who Sly Cooper is.
He was a little fox.
In the like what is like the
It's a great. He's a raccoon.
He's a raccoon. It's the Thievius Raccoonus is this book.
Well,
Sly Cooper and the
Thievius.
Thievius. There you go. Yeah, if you actually drew that, I would pay you.
Dude, how much?
Yeah.
Well, we could discuss prices.
Let's talk about it.
What about Grant?
Well, what would you? I would not pay him $1,000 to draw.
Well, then
that.
you clearly don't fucking respect the craft.
I would give you on an 8.5 by 11.
Oh, that's
piece
small?
of paper.
You would
probably,
want
yeah.
You wouldn't want
don't
Well,
want
it would be.
Dude, that's got to be a centipede.
Yeah, you gotta
thing
give
about-
me room to roam.
There's room to roam on an 8.5 by 11 piece
not
of
with
paper.
a man with legs this long, there, right?
But
With markers and
if it's
stuff?
not a super big frame, it makes it to where you have to like kind of really approach the piece, and that's what I want from it. It's something that you can appreciate. You don't want to see it and have people be turned away from a distance. You want to be able to approach it and be like, what exactly is? And then they can look up on it and like, oh. And then it's funny because then someone's like, what is this? And I'm like, actually, it's Sly Cooper. PS2 game, and it's Linda from Bob's Burgers.
2003 Sly Cooper.
Exactly. Actually, that is actually going to be really funny. You should give her like big fucking tits though, and you
Big
should give
milkers.
Sly Cooper like that thing like in some porn you see it where the guy's sack is so big, but like whenever it's like whenever you're like they're fucking, their balls are like really pressed up against, so it's just like this like empty sack, and like the balls are like really like together and pressed up.
I think that's an operation they get actually to make
Really?
the dick look bigger. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I want that
They
look.
pull the balls up so it's like just balls and dick.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I want. That then,
Yeah.
but I definitely want excess sack. And then
Or maybe I'm confused. Excess sack, but the balls are taut and up.
they're
so
taut and up. But
So
you
where
stick
does
the
the
imprint of
excess
it.
sack go?
It's like kind of like behind it, and it just dribbles down. It's like an empty sack. So it's like the balls, because the cock is so hard and erect or whatever.
Okay.
This
It's
is
like it's
so
pulled up.
specific.
Right.
It is. That's what I
really
wanted. That's the
have a vision
piece.
for
I'm
this.
trying to. Well, that's what I'm saying.
it's fair
Yeah,
enough.
when I said that I wanted a lewd picture, I knew exactly what kind of cock situation one had, and it's just going to be all open, way too open, far too open. It's going to be nice, and a big '70s bush on Linda. Yeah,
Okay.
I actually feel like she would shave, you know?
maybe do it to where it's like rug burn. You know what I mean?
I think
No.
so.
What do you mean?
It's like shaved down there, but there's like the little red bristles from where it's
Right,
like
yeah.
Oh,
fresh
where,
and shit.
where
It's-
the razors...
It's
yeah.
coming. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah.
There's a little.
Very detailed. And then also, definitely references from both. So like, like action bubbles, maybe some kind of.
What
Speech
style
bubbles.
would you do it in? Would you try and match the style of each thing, or would you have a unified style for it?
I've been putting it together in my head. I'd probably just do my style in markers.
Right.
You know.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I think if anything, maybe just leave the heads in their own respective styles.
Yeah.
and
Well,
then-
they would totally. Yeah, they'd look like the.
Yeah, well, I just mean like
characters,
so like the heads and like the hair and stuff can be the same, but then
Right.
with the bodies, do what you will. Yeah.
Do what you will.
Do what you will.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
it
gonna,
doesn't. It doesn't even need a background, just the characters.
I can already see you sweating over the female anatomy. Not in like a horny way, just in a...
I can see it in a horny way.
I'll figure it out.
I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna hear that fucking beginning, like what is it, like ukulele fucking beginning theme song thing. You're like, he's like breathing, looking at it. Bobby.
Mommy!
Yeah.
I hate it, dude. It's so annoying. That fucking, like, the kid in that show is so disgusting.
Tina.
Yeah. I mean, I know they
Right,
do
yeah,
on
the other
purpose,
one.
but they really
Yeah.
fucking succeed.
Yeah, that's Nathan for you. Me and Tina.
The first episode or whatever, she's, like, itching her crotch, and she's like, it smells like bacon. It's just so vile, dude.
Who does that? Tina?
The little one of the girls, not the annoying one, but the
Tina,
disgusting
then.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess Tina's probably disgusting. But
It's a feminist masterpiece.
okay, guys,
We're
get your.
Why did you say okay, guys? Like I said anything.
Because you're like, there was a rev up. I'm like, all right, let's eat that.
My heart's like racing.
This is what you guys should do. You guys should do a Bob's Burger parody.
Maybe we should.
What would you do? What would be your pitch for a Bob's Burger cartoon?
Yeah, I think you have far too much faith in our ability to come up with ideas like that.
We literally
we deliberate.
We're in our 2 chairs and we're about 3 feet back from our desks and we're not looking at each other.
Yeah.
This one, the universal body language for
Yeah.
hopelessness.
and then I just bounce the worst ideas I can think of off of
almost immediately like incel or cuck.
That's
or
literally like was Bob gets cucked by Barney the dinosaur, and I look at Don and Don's like, I'm like, okay, Bob, fat boy pussy, spread like a hamburger bun. And yeah, it's just that for fucking 8 hours.
Let's bring some other properties into this, dude.
Let's really
this is
fucking.
Bob's Halo.
Bob is Master Chief.
All right, I'm listening.
Master
That's
Chief,
kind of
who would
fun.
the other ones be? What's his
You
wife's
got his
name?
little visor, but you can see it's Bob inside of Master Chief's
What's
helmet.
his wife's name, Don?
Linda.
Linda is the
cord-
arbiter.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
This is the process,
Okay.
but with way less excitement and much more.
Bobby.
Bobby.
Bobby, you gotta blow up the halos.
What are you talking?
Whoa.
This is my Bob. Fuck.
Linda.
I'm cooking burgers, Linda.
No, you gotta descend on the Ark of the Covenant.
You know, I
Bobby.
really didn't mind that show. The only thing about the show is like if they took away the annoying little girl and Jean, it'd be fine. And it was just Tina as their only kid. To me, that's way more interesting.
I actually think Gene is. I know it's a pretty basic bitch perspective, but he's probably the best part of the show. Like the one-liners. That's the only stuff that
The little
gets
boy.
me.
What?
Yeah, his little like additions. I think are they're
He has a
fun.
piano. He's just like it smells like farts.
Oh no, he's annoying.
Yeah.
yeah. But he has like little pithy like double entendre ads.
I just hate him. I hate that character.
Little tags.
I hate
Little
that character.
entendres.
Tina's the only interesting child because it's like if it feels the most real of like a weird Asperger's girl that's like horny. And she's always just like she's obsessed with like the Italian kid across the street who has like a lisp and dances. It's good.
She revolts me so much. It just
Yeah, she's
puts me
disgusting.
Mm.
But she's a good character though. She's like I like
yeah,
her
no,
as a
but
character.
she is. But to the point, it drives me away from the show. Like,
I don't think it's ever been that disgusting. I can't think of me being like I just can't.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but there you go. Yeah, that's Sly Cooper, Linda, fucking Linda, and she's holding 2 burgers,
Nice.
and she's yelling Bobby.
Maybe she's
Bobby?
maybe she's mashing them on her tits. Like
I was just kind of hoping for one of these.
so like almost religious. Like a
That's her bouncing on Sly Cooper's dick.
Okay. Oh, she's just riding him. Okay.
She could.
See, I was picturing like from the back, he's like skull fucking her, and then she's ramming something in her.
Good Lord!
Well,
There's
because
no way
no, because well, listen, because
Justin, bleep all that. God damn!
but you're
skull fucking.
How am I going to get the balls? I'm trying to meet the client description.
If she is
this
here,
is the brief. You're like, okay,
if she is
okay,
here,
but
right?
listen, dude, I need Sly Cooper's balls.
Reverse cowgirl.
I need taut
Reverse
Sly Cooper
cowgirl. The
balls.
legs are her legs
So we
like
don't
that.
even see Sly Cooper then.
You see her behind him. He's big.
Okay.
I'm talking. It's going to be a buff version of Sly Cooper. Big boy.
This is the angle.
No. So if he's like if his legs are like
But you're
this,
saying reverse cowgirl,
if his
and you
legs-
want to
if
see
his
her
legs-
face
if his
and her
legs like this,
tits.
he's standing up, and it's like he's basically like I guess he would be standing.
He's standing?
holding.
Oh, so she's on her back, legs towards him. He's holding her.
No. Legs outward, belly. So they're both facing this way. Maybe her head's going this way.
She's
his
lying
head's
on
going
her
this
tummy.
way. Huh?
She's lying on her tummy.
No, he's holding her.
Up.
Yeah,
Oh, like so her legs are like this. She's facing she's facing the other way.
back to his chest.
So
facing
they're
this way.
fucking standing up.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's
Now
also,
I'm
he's
with you.
also
She's got his
going in
big
from the
hands
back.
on her, on her thighs. And
Okay.
he's holding it. Then you get to see his dick and balls because it's wide open. Hey, free real estate. Her head's going one way, his head's going that way, so you see both of them.
Okay.
I wonder How much of this is actually usable is what I want to know.
All of it.
All of this? Are you sure? All right. Realistically, throw me a number for an actual deal with a reasonable turnaround time, not just I'll get.
My time is valuable. Valuable time.
Okay. Dude.
How long is this going to take me?
Why the fuck are you asking me that? Tom, shut up. Shut the hell up. Let him come to this number on his own.
You guys might not know this, but Hunter is fucking minted. So I gotta respect myself here.
Minted. Fuck off. God. You give me a respectable number.
Dude, I have so little time to myself, and you're trying to take it for yourself for
This would be after whenever you get to look forward to this drawing.
I'll do it for $100.
I just don't feel like it would be good.
Uh-oh.
I feel like
Took the levity out of the room.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it just wouldn't be from a place. I feel like if it was
Have you seen my Akuma drawing?
Yeah. It's taken you 7 years to do the line art on that thing.
I'm a busy man.
Well, I mean, busy. You can't bust out the line art in a night.
No, I'm busy.
I'm done with this conversation. I'm done with you. Do a commission for someone else, but not me. Don will commission you.
Oh, I won't commission Tom. Why would I do that?
Well, I'm trying to make him feel better.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's gonna be a good accent. We should just drown in it. We should make it so hazy.
Don, $1,000. Why is it so hard for you to say $1,000?
I'm considering.
I will not pay you $1,000.
I know that. I know that.
Well, that's your price, and stick to it, and he'll come around.
Honestly, the number I was wanting to throw at you, I give you $200 for it.
$300.
Does that come with color?
Yeah,
I'd do that for $300.
Right.
But you have to put time into it. You can't. Yeah.
You
not like
higher. You didn't even flinch.
Not a fucking Butch Hartman thing. Well, I think that's reasonable.
You just got
because at first I was thinking 200, but it was black and white, and then 300 I think for color. That's fine. Small. Also, I'm his buddy. All right.
Yeah. Real buddies over here. Everyone's a buddy in this room.
Oh, is this mates rates? No.
I think so.
What would you have paid someone else of my social media stature?
God, less.
Why
did you go with?
I probably wouldn't ask anybody else to do it. It's only really good if it's from a friend.
Right.
I feel like Tom is definitely not interested in anything that's going on.
Do you know what? You've told me some cringe stories of your own that you've for some reason kept hidden from this fucking podcast, and I would like you to roll one of those out.
What, Hunter's?
Turns out the Hunter is just as much as the social fucking
Is Hunter
goober
pretty
as we
cringe? Is that true?
Hunter has done some very cringe stuff, and he's always let us fall on the fucking sword.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, you saw some of your animation heroes.
I think I talked about that. Did I not talk about that last episode?
No.
Have I not brought that up in an episode before?
No.
Have I not?
Yeah, literally, the episode.
Have I not talked about that?
The episode is cratering, and I'm like, oh, remember that time you and I just made a gigantic fucking ass of ourselves?
Yeah, turns out Hunter has loads of those. He just kept them
and then you
from
just
us.
sit back there.
You're like, you guys are such idiots. Now, continue.
This is what I would have done.
Mine's cool. I looked like an idiot, but it was cool.
Uh-huh.
Well, so what happened?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I was working in... So the one you're thinking of is whenever I met Chris Brzezinski, the head of Titmouse Animation, who does like a bunch of really... Does like a bunch of Adult Swim stuff, Metalocalypse. They do like the Netflix Big Mouth, and they do like... They did like Uncle Grandpa, just a bunch of like big shows in LA. They're just really prominent.
To give some extra context, like Metalocalypse and shows like that, like
huge inspiration.
This guy is big.
Well, I was gonna get to that. Yeah. So I was gonna say I was in New York working, and then I had known people who were animators at Titmouse in New York. So they were like, "Hey, we're wrapping up. If you want to come and like hang out at their like rap party." And like usually at the end of productions, they do a rap party, and there they had like an open bar and stuff, but in New York, also, they had Christy Caracas, who was the creator of like Super Jail and like Ballmasters, and that was like a huge inspiration for me in college, and like I was obsessed. But also just Death Clock and stuff. I mean, I was always like, I want to work at Titmouse and stuff when I was younger. So I got to go, and it was awesome, and we were having a good time, and I just got fucking shit-faced. I mean, everybody was shit-faced, though, so it wasn't like me just be like acting a fool. But we were all drinking and stuff, having a good time. And then they were like, "Hey, we're gonna go to a bar on the corner," because they were the studios in Manhattan, and they went to like this bar, this like kind of like not bougie but pretty fancy. Like it's in the dead of night, and there's like hardly any fucking lights on. You can't see shit. So we go there, and I'm like just sweat my ass off because it's like summertime in New York, and I'm just like sweaty. I'm drunk, and I'm like, "Hey, order me that thing." And I see Christy Caracas, Chris Krasinski, Chris P, and some other guy. I'm not sure who it was, but I remember. I can't remember now, but I did know him. Not know him, but I knew of him. And they were sitting in this booth drinking and talking and stuff. And I remember I was like talking with my friend and stuff, and I was like wobbly and shit. I was all, just sweaty. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to him. But I walked over and I can't remember if I think I walked up, immediately tripped and fell and broke the glass I had. And they saw it, and like the whole bar was looking at me, and I kind of just got up and like dusted myself off, and I was like, went up to Chris Krasinski.
Is your hand bleeding at this point?
Yeah, and like I'm like,
how's it going?
My hand, I was like a whole deal, and it was dark as shit, and I was just like, I just want you to know, I really respect what you're doing, and I was like, honestly, it's been a huge fucking inspiration. I looked at Christy, and I think I called him something else, and I was like, I love what you're doing as well. I wrote a paper on you in college. It's awesome. And stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, cool, man." And I was like, "Oh, all right, well, okay." And I kind of just like walked off, and I remember like I left. I just left the bar. Yeah. I didn't pay or anything. And I remember I had gotten text the next morning. They were just like, "Yeah, you left, and we had to cover your deal." They weren't pissed, but I was just like left. I remember like was walking home, and I was like, "That was awesome." That was great. And I was talking to myself, and I remember I got on the subway, and I remember I was like just so infatuated with being like I got to talk to them.
Right.
And I was like, I was like on the subway, like just profusely sweating. The reason I bring up the sweat thing is because I'm so wet, very wet. And I was like, I can't believe, man, awesome. Just drunk as shit, going to a bodega, pick up like a bag of chips and like a deli sandwich and head back. And I'm like, man, I was like, awesome. Right, I passed out the next day, and then I woke up, and I was like, it's like that, just that overwhelming sense of being like, ooh, that actually happened. That deal. But yeah, I it was bad. But at the end of the day, I feel like respectable.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Respectable.
The amount of shit you gave us for being social retards.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about the thing that I smashed one thing, and I was bleeding, and I didn't make a big fuss about it. It was a little broken glass.
Mm-hmm.
Dust it off. You move on with your life. I think that the reason I gave such a big stink is because I think you guys were in a delusion of like pinning these people, like putting your hand against the wall, and they're just like, remember when our show got canceled? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, yes, 10 for 10, 10 for 10. And everybody's freaking out.
That's what you did.
No, that is not what I did.
Awesome.
I smashed down. And but the thing is, I knew that I fucked up afterwards. I was in a drunken state. You guys were sober.
We knew. Yeah, we knew. That's why we.
You guys said that you were like, this is killing it. It's killing it.
It did. Until it didn't.
It did. I love it. It did. Until it didn't.
Until it didn't. Yeah. So imagine Hunter 6 inches from this guy's face. I wrote a college paper.
Oh, wait. Yeah, way closer.
Uncomfortable. Rubbing blood on his face.
Yeah, like blood on the table. I'm like, to support myself up. It's like also, well, the reason I was so close is because it's so dark.
Yeah, well, it's a loud bar. You got to get in their face and yell at them.
Really not that loud. But I was loud. The bar was not really that loud. But I was like, I really appreciate what you're doing, man. I'm like sweating. I remember because the reason I want to say it is because I'm like, and I just really like all that stuff.
I bet you, when you're drunk, your southern accent gets stronger too.
Very.
Yeah.
It's almost offensive. Yeah.
I really fucking love it.
I always do a thing. My dad, I don't know why it gets passed down, but my dad, he's like, God damn. Say that, and I do that a lot when I'm drunk. So I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'm like, God damn, I do that too. Hey, for real. Hey, whoa, yeah, I'm telling you, it's all like, yeah, that's what I do a lot from the oldest times. Everything's good. Yeah,
feel that.
Like a small child climbed up through the window.
Hello, I smell candy.
Candy. And
Will you be my friend?
Yeah.
I'm like, hello.
Tom just grabs it and drags it through the window.
Little Pepe Le Pew kiss thing.
Yeah.
You're magnificent. my little buttercup.
Man, never would have guessed it'd been taken for that one, you know? Dawn the weird, like, kitty kisser. Yeah.
It's
just an odd, like, I mean, it's happened. I'm not debating.
You put way too much emphasis on wanting to be a child's friend.
Yeah, I did.
A lot.
Yep. It's just being
to a degree where I remember, like, realistically, me and Tom were looking at each other, and
my dad listened to that episode, and he called, and he was like, "Look, son." It's not that they hate you.
No, start it right.
Look, boy.
No.
Look, boy. Okay, Look, boy. You know.
God damn it.
Well, let me just start with, like, if you don't want me to listen to the podcast, that's okay. Just let me know, you know? Like, if that just needs to be your thing, like, we won't listen. But,
he's a good man.
Hear me out. Like, the thing, DJ, the thing with the children, we're very tall. You and I. And, it's not because they don't like you.
I was telling you that too. I said that.
Yeah, well, it's 100. I mean, it's 100%.
It's coming from his pop. Yeah, it's coming from his pops.
It's
for sure.
It's 100% what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like coming from somebody who's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to come from another tall guy. For
yeah, exactly. We're in this together.
Yeah, tall men unite.
Yeah. Like hold hands. Yay!
I just
hold hands and just like rocking off.
I opened up to you guys and you just pounced.
What did you have?
You didn't open. You said you. This was
no. It was sincerely like.
What did you expect?
I was walking around with this perception that I just have this look on my face where like I'm a bad person and children don't like you because you're a bad person. You just seem like a stranger danger kind of guy.
Are you? Do you think? Do you want kids?
Yeah.
Well, he said 100%. That's why.
That was the genesis of the whole thing. Is like, do I just seem like
me?
Exactly?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, because they'll be tall. You'll have
they'll get up there.
When your wife dies in birth. When your wife dies in birth from giving fucking birth to a 4 foot tall fucking coming out, you're like, bye boy, and she's like, just split open. your child will love you, but then you'll hate it because it killed your wife, and that's the vicious circle.
Will I though?
Nah,
you're
exactly.
like, good boy.
You're like, oh thank God.
Yeah, exactly. Time for a new wife. No, yeah, it's just the way that you said it. And also, no, I mean, it was just funny because you were like, it seemed like you're approaching children. And you kind of were.
Walking up, just peering out the window.
Oh, you were peering out the window.
No, I was not peering out the window.
But no, that's what I mean, though. You were out.
This is the perception I created, I suppose.
No, like nose to the ground. You go towards them on all fours.
They're like, it's like screaming.
Yeah,
I just want a longboard with you.
Yeah, exactly, just like that.
It's kind of funny. You know what would be funny is you were talking about like those like realty apps that you can find houses with, and they tell you like the crimes that people commit around there. It's like long tree man assaults child.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about like a horrible case.
Well, I don't want to dox us.
Oh, they're gonna find the listing.
They're going to look for the sodomized child.
Yeah, but that kind of thing goes on all the time.
That happens everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
There can't be 7,000 sodomized child.
I feel like there probably is. I bet there's more.
100%. 100%.
I feel like this...
Take it from me.
Yeah, I was about to say, you seem so sure.
No, yeah,
I really took the arrow out of the room.
I do like he's like this. He's just like, oh, for sure. For sure.
100%.
Oh, there's a buttload more.
A buttload.
A buttload more. No, I really do, though. I mean, like, that shit, yeah, definitely. There's no way you could pinpoint child getting sodomized. Okay, well, there they are. That one time it happened.
Okay,
how many times does it realistically happen?
This year already? I would...
In the area that we have put out into the cosmos that we exist in.
I honestly, I seriously believe over 1,000.
We're not near,
I would,
a church or anything.
I would literally believe over 1,000 easily.
What's your numbers? Become like a lotto, a raffle.
In the immediate, yeah, I could see that. In the immediate area,
1,000 kids. That's a lot of kids to be like.
I think 1,000 cases.
What? So one kid accounts for like 300.
I mean, like there could be a thing. Well, that's all. Isn't that a thing though, right? Isn't there a thing of like a repeated Like something that's like I have no idea. There's something
like
where
a CVS receipt.
If it's a
Just one child.
one transaction at a time. The judge is like, come on. It's like printing out. It's like,
come on, really?
And going.
Really?
Yeah.
really?
We don't get one or two,
Really?
man, but this is too fucking far.
Well, I thought there was a thing where one, like, it could happen to one person, but if it's like, if it happens more and more, that it becomes like, it's different, like, felonies. So it's like, it's one thing, and it's like, it can be 5 things for one person or something. You know what I mean? So that case, there could be, you know what I mean?
You mean the same? It happening 5 times to the same kid?
The severity, it's like there's different kinds of manslaughter, but with those kinds of cases, it can account for certain things. So,
Sodomy with intent.
Yeah.
in the record, in the
Sodomy
in the
without
record, that
intent.
one thing could appear up like 5 different ways,
Right, yeah.
whatever, because of that, the actual like thing that convinced. So, I think definitely over 1,000 cases, but I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, 1,000
Sodomy under
kids,
the
and
influence.
like the amount of population stuff. I'd 100%.
Are you going to let your kids play outside without you watching them?
Absolutely.
Of course he is. What kind of question was that?
A lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, but it's Hunter.
Yeah, well, you know, we're talking about thousands of pedophiles in the immediate area, so I was just curious.
Right. Well,
Right.
you have to think about it too of like.
I'm going to get to them first. They're already ruined.
Hey, needle in a haystack.
Lots of Texas.
Needle in a haystack. Nothing wrong with getting poked. Am I right? All right. Welcome to Craig.
That's my Yiannopoulos angle. I was back off of that dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That man was Teflon until that. So
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'd love to have sex with my
being
priest.
raped by a priest.
And everyone's like,
Okay, man, you're done. Time out, buddy.
yeah, no, I mean, I don't know.
So anyways, I'm not worried about being a father anymore. My dad sorted me out.
That really helped a lot.
Yeah, I just hadn't thought of it that way.
We did say to you though that
We
it
literally
wasn't.
said it was, yeah, but
Yeah, but you guys are fucking assholes. Don't like either of you. I like my dad a lot.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You're like daddy, huh?
Daddy.
Hey boy.
That's always the weird thing.
Hey, boy.
Whenever he's like, hey, he's like, hold on a second, my dad's calling me. You drop the voice. You don't have the deep voice, and you're like, Daddy, Daddy, what do you mean? I guess I can come over today.
I'm gonna show you God, son.
I
wanna
hope
meet
you
God?
do. You already have.
Oh.
What would that movie be called? What would there not Satan's Alley? What would theirs be called? Father and son doing that instead of two monks.
Daddy's boy? I don't know.
I would say the family.
Oh,
Roots.
do you know what? There's a good pun with father, like a priest father and a father. So there's probably a good pun in there somewhere. You can weigh in too, Don.
What about family roots?
What's the connection to like why?
It's a deep
Because Don's getting like rooted. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
I don't really know if we need to.
that's where my mind went.
Bless me, Father.
Thanks for
Something
listening
like
to the podcast, Dad. See you next week.
He's like, I don't have to listen to this
Just keep-
podcast.
just
God, you
Listen.
haven't. I think
Keep checking in on me, how my life's going.
I like to think that every time he listens and he hears his name brought up, he's like, "Oh God damn
Oh, God, for fuck's
Here
sake.
we
son
go.
of a
Not
bitch!
again.
God
I
damn it,
imagine
boy.
his wife just kisses up.
Keep my goddamn name out of their mouth."
Yeah, my stepmom loves the voice. It's so funny.
I bet that pisses him off real bad. It's not funny. God damn it, Barbara. Son of a bitch.
Do you get a call every time that he's mentioned?
No, he saved them up, and then he
He binged them.
Yeah,
Oh, there
yeah.
you go.
We talked about several
It's like, oh,
episodes.
shit.
It's
It's like,
Would it be too much to
Well,
watch? What else?
well, no, I told you guys we were playing Xbox that night. I already told you guys, but he was like, there was the story about how he bought my brother a shotgun, but not me.
oh
that year.
yeah.
So first he defended it, and apparently while they were listening to that episode, my stepmom was like, "Well, let's just buy him a gun this year." But then, of course, we moved on to like, I don't feel like I can have one because I'm going to kill myself. And she was like, maybe we don't get him a gun.
Maybe we should still get him a gun.
But yeah, that was the conversation. It was like, look, boys, suicide is very selfish. And
That is the angle. I love that.
Look, boy.
it's a coward's way out. You hurt everyone you leave behind. You leave them questioning.
Yes, God
Yeah,
gave another angel, but we lose one.
But we put one on the ground.
Yeah, it's not beautiful, son. Not pretty.
We should call this episode "Daddy Don't Listen."
Yes, please.
That's the movie name.
Oh, Daddy Don't Listen.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
the fucking movie.
Or actually,
name.
what would it be called? Daddy Do Listen. Or Daddy Listens. I
We'll
wonder if
figure it out.
Justin ever has these thoughts about his dad. You think? You think your
What-
brother ever?
What,
Which
sexual
which
thoughts
yeah,
or
which
what?
thoughts exactly?
Yeah, which thoughts are we talking about?
He knows. he knows which thought. We don't have to.
Justin, you can weigh in. Just have a little section where you tell us what you think about.
It's just
When you think
it's
about
just
your
It's
dad.
just like an MP3 of a baby crying. Hey, boy. Hey,
I wonder
boy.
how your dad talks to your brother though. Like, I wonder if it's the same thing.
Those sick fucks. Or do you mean about us or just in general?
Just so when he rings you up, it seems like
Right.
he's kind of maybe severe because the topics are always severe. But do you reckon he just rings up Justin? He's like, hey boy, do you see the game? Like it's all just happy-go-lucky and fun. Or do you think he rings him with
Well,
dark shit
we've
too?
already kind of figured that out with the gun topic, right? Like he bought
Oh well, that's
Justin
true.
a gun, but he didn't
Yeah.
buy Don a gun.
I would just be interested to see what their conversations are like in private.
I guess I just don't understand the question. Is it is your perception that my dad views me as like this unstable,
Yes.
fragile, little,
Well, that's what
little,
the
little
picture that's being painted.
porcelain?
I just like that.
Hobble
Yes,
that he's-
immediately fragile. Yes.
Yeah. So he thinks. So what do you think he talks to? How do you think he talks to Justin though?
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Justin has his stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe he didn't bang as many girls this week as he did last week.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
a
boy,
big cross to bear.
have you smashed any trim lately? And he's just like,
Oh, yeah, Dad.
I mean, I tried, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, coronavirus, it's fake, but because Justin is a big hoaxer.
He's like, yeah.
I mean, it's a fake disease, like a China disease, and it's over here. So I don't know. Girls are turned off by it. He's like, oh, goddamn that fake China hoax, boy.
Fucking Obama again.
Be sure to not wear your mask in a stance against the common man. He's like, I mean, I'm gonna try, and I hope I get more pussy this week for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. Hunter gets it.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's what we're wondering. You think that's how it goes? I like the subtle noises. We've also just hit the 2 hour mark.
I take-
We're
I-
on a roll now. We're getting good.
I just take your queries so seriously. Like I really I will play it out in my mind if you ask it.
It's like you were telling me that, because the question I will frequently ask is, do you ever wonder if? And you were like, no, stop asking, because then it sets you on this locomotive start.
Well,
Like,
that's what. Yeah, but it's also like
you start fucking going quick.
it's like that's how you put something that you clearly wonder. You know that you.
Well, yeah, of course, I'm trying to get
I
the
clearly
perception of the same
believe
thing.
this, but do you? Yeah. So like, did you ever wonder if your dad just thinks you're a fucking bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I
wonder,
don't.
so
I
I'm
don't think
asking
that's
if you wonder.
I don't think that's an appropriate question.
You don't think it's inappropriate?
I think
Me
it's,
either.
I don't think it's appropriate.
Yeah. That was very cruel of you
What?
to just ask this question.
I respect you enough to think you're strong enough to
Sometimes
not
when you
collapse under my
dance around it,
questions.
and we know that's what you're talking about.
I didn't
can-
dance.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I
So-
served it.
no, I said sometimes you dance around
You
it.
want me to dance around it?
I mean, just as a person though, you dance, but the dance is so thin that it's like insulting.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, if you know as a
because
person that
well
my
no
dance
it's because your calculus is like this is what it means to be empathetic. It's like this little.
But then you will complain.
it's just
if
like
I'm
a little.
just
It's a
blunt.
little half-hearted like.
I do my line dance, my little.
Yeah, except
a
no,
bitch?
is that's people want the line dance, but your line dance is literally you standing in the same place and just being like,
sweating.
no, just, and then why does your dad hate you? there's no dance. Like people are like wanting to honk and song stuff and everything, and you're just like. Standing in place. Like, come on, dude. At least give me a little more than that, and you're just.
Here's the thing. I
But
don't wanna dance
you're
at all.
weak for needing me to dance.
Yeah.
No. What it is I respect your character to feel like you don't want a dance.
I respect your.
But I
you still give a little bit of a
for women
dance.
and children. Like those are the people who want dances.
Okay.
And the fact that you want them to speaks ill of you.
Well, exactly. Is that not what I just said? Like the last words.
No,
out of my
you
mouth?
said you're assaulted by my dance.
No, but after that, in your voice. Just go ahead.
Just
Just go
do
ahead.
it again.
Rewind it.
it
Replay
again, I
it.
wanna
Then
hear
then
it
play
again.
the shit he just said right next to that.
I don't wanna
But
dance
you're
at all.
weak for needing me to dance.
But
you still give a little bit of a
for women
dance.
and children. Like those are the people who want dances.
Okay.
And the fact that you want them to speaks ill of you.
Well, exactly.
I'm sorry for thinking you were a man. I'll dance harder for you.
There we go, gaslighting again.
Thank you. Just be nice to me. Hunter.
Yeah, just gaslit everybody. I'm sorry, you guys are crazy. I'm sorry that I thought that you thought that way. That's odd that you think that way, but I think that you think other ways. But what do you want me to think? What am I supposed to think at this time?
I want it to flow off your back like water off a duck.
What an odd British thing to say. Float off your
water off a duck's back. You don't have that idiom?
No.
Because your ducks are very insulated from water, so the water just flows off them. You're fighting with the country right now, not just me. I've got 80 million Brits behind me.
Yeah, they're all just sitting there.
They're all like, he's bloody right.
That's right. Ducks do that.
Yeah, ducks are like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's right. We were discussing the other day this like fantasy British person that women think of that does just not exist anymore. Women in America think that English people are like
very kind of
yes. Oh, isn't that very dapper? Yes.
And then what are the?
But he's just like, all right, just shut your fucking gash, you cunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that is all British, man.
Oh, you did as well.
What you got? So dreamy.
No,
Yeah, if American women only knew.
Yeah, exactly. They go over there and be like, "What's your name?" My name. You fucking cunt. You fucking.
Show it on your arse, bitch.